everyone, it's Sue, the Reluctant Chef. I want to teach you today how to cut a watermelon for your safest summer eating. First of all, in order to pick a good watermelon, you want this. I know that looks like a watermelon that you wouldn't pick, but you want a watermelon that has that yellow or brown, kind of veiny areas on it. That means that it was pollinated and it was ripened on the vine, so it is more likely to be a more flavorful watermelon. Second thing you want to do is you want to use a cutting board that has a nice groove in it to catch all of your liquids. This is our large groove cutting board. It has silicone on the edges. If you're cutting, there are measurements on this side, so if you're cutting for a specific stir fry or something, you can measure it. And you want to make sure that you're using a large chef's knife. This is our 8-inch chef's knife, and you want a pointed knife because that is the easiest one to get into round things like watermelon or squash. You also want to make sure that you're using a honing tool. One of the things that I didn't know when I first started Pampered Chef, before I started really doing much cooking, is that you're supposed to hone your knife multiple times a week if you're using the same knife, often. And honing is different than sharpening. It's not the same. Honing is when you're using a knife regularly, your knife will bend in one direction or another, or it'll get these little barbs on it. And if you don't hone those off, your knife will do what's called shaling. And that's when you get those little flakes that come out of your knife that looks like your kid had chopped at a tree with your knife. That is not good because those little flaky pieces are ending up in your food somewhere. So you definitely want to have some type of honing tool. And when you purchase the professional knife block set from Pampered Chef, it comes with the honing tool. And what a honing tool looks like is it has this little ceramic X that you are going to, and by the way, this is the counter safety guard for people like me. And you're just going to take your knife and you're just going to drag it through the honing X a few times, usually 3 or 4 times, just to take those little barbs off. I usually just wipe it afterwards just in case there's any little pieces left on it. So sharpening actually takes metal off your knife. That's why your grandfather's knives are really small. They're using either a sharpening stick or they're using an electric sharpener. That is just definitely something different. It takes off, and you only need to sharpen a professional knife. Hi Kimberly, every 1 to 2 years, depending upon how often you use them. And I just take it to a professional knife sharpener, although I do have an electric sharpener that I can use. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our loser fingers. Okay, so Kimberly's got a little message. Let me see if I can pull it up. Oh, hey Mary, how are you? So you're going to use your loser fingers so you don't lose a finger, right? And you're going to choke up on your blade and you're going to pinch it. So the first thing you want to do is you want to cut off the top and the bottom. And why are we doing that? You're going to hear me say it again and again and again. Safety, safety. It's super important that you are safe when you are cutting something round. You do not want your knife slipping. So poke into your watermelon, get a little start on it, and then let the blade do the work for you, okay? Let it do the cutting for you. So now that we have a flat surface, now we can actually work with our watermelon. So I'm short, countertops are high for somebody my height, so I tend to just cut my watermelon in half, and I work with half a watermelon at a time. Now, if you are cutting your watermelon in the short direction, if you wanted to cut it this way, we have silicone bowl covers that will fit on the end, and I'll post a picture of it, of your watermelon if you're not going to be cutting up your whole watermelon for a picnic or for using it for something specific. I'm actually going to use some of my watermelon in my smoothie that I'm going to do in a few minutes because I had some fruit salad left over and I have some blueberries that are starting to look not so pretty. So I thought, well, I don't want to waste those, right? So I'm going to stick them right into a smoothie. So what I would do at this point is I would just go ahead and start cutting along the contour of my watermelon. Watermelon, if you stick within the contours of your watermelon, are super easy to cut, and you'll be able to just get off all of the white, and that's our goal. So watermelon doesn't have to be a big deal. Now, if you're cutting it into cubes, which is what I'm doing, I'm taking off the rind. If you're cutting it for a picnic and you want to have the kids head outside, then you would leave the skin on it and then you would just cut it in half again and cut it into wedges. So The smaller watermelons are the ones that are more, that are the seedless ones. I prefer those. I don't know about you, but my mom told me that if I swallowed a watermelon seed, I was going to grow a watermelon in my belly, and I accidentally swallowed one, and I cried for a bit because I thought I was going to have a watermelon belly, and you know, I kind of have a watermelon belly. But I think that's more genetics than anything else. So, watermelon's a really great fruit to have in the summertime, and do you know why? Because it actually hydrates you better. It's kind of like coconut water. It has like electrolytes in it that will hydrate you better than just drinking water. So when you go for hikes, if you hike at all, I'm going back up to New Hampshire for a little bit, and I'm hoping to do some hiking. I will be packing some watermelon. It's a really good thing to do. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cube it because I'm gonna be putting it into another fruit salad, and I'm gonna be putting some of it into my smoothie today. But that is the easiest way to cut a watermelon safely so that you are not getting injured. And I hope you guys have a wonderful summer. I want to see what you guys are cooking this year. Tell me what you're grilling. If you guys need any tips or tricks or new recipes, I've got some new ones that are out. I'd be happy to send them to you. Just private message me. Thanks for watching The Reluctant Chef. I'm Sue Moulton, your Pampered Chef Consultant, and if you need any tools that you have seen here, like the stainless steel bowls or the knives, cutting boards, reach out to me because there are some specials this month that you don't want to miss.